Dozens of community members gathered in Beattie Park in downtown Rockford to celebrate a piece of Native American history hidden in plain sight. Our Miriam Niesmeyer attended the 28th annual Honor the Mounds Gathering and shows why the ground holds a special meaning.
The rhythm of drums and songs filled Beattie Park with a sound rooted in culture and tradition.
The drum is the heartbeat of the people, and so we carry the drum and we sing for the people.
The Native American Awareness Committee puts on the powwow each year to bring more attention to the mounds scattered throughout.
It's great to have all these Native people come together and try to continue our heritage in this way. It's a kind of a sacred place to be.
The grounds are the only public land in Illinois where people can see all three mound types, conical, linear, and effigy. And they're one of Illinois' last intact sites of the late prehistoric effigy mound culture.
Some people don't even realize what they're out here for. You know, they come to the park and they enjoy it, but they don't realize that those are mounds.
The mounds are not burial mounds, but were placed there by American tribes to honor those they've lost.
We honor the people that made them, and that's why we come out every year.
Bringing that history into the present through food, art, stories, drumming, and dance. The Jingle Dance centers on healing, one of the traditions shared by attendees.
Each jingle is a prayer, and you say a lot of prayers when you're making the dress. It's just really nice to share the cultures and to see people come out here who are interested.
Reporting in Rockford, I'm Miriam Niesmeyer.
The Native American Awareness Committee says its small group is looking for new members to help keep events like Saturday's Gathering going. The committee meets twice a month at Burpee Museum.